Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Star. And so we have a very dreamy quality. If you can imagine standing out, maybe in a large clearing at night, looking up at that absolutely clear sky, all those beautiful stars, and you're dreaming and you're planning and you're, making resolutions to yourself. That's that energy right now. That's where we're at. We're working on those goals, making them moves. Okay, let's see what we have going on tonight. So interesting. First, we have a person. You can see the head up here, the body, maybe the legs, but then we also have an animal here, and it looks like, I imagine a dog of some kind, a canine. So I see you kind of walking along with your dog. And actually, I feel like the last Scorpio reading we had a lot to do with a dog. And I think even I remember because somebody's like, I only like cats. And so let me just say, this doesn't have to be an actual dog. And it doesn't only have to be a dog. It could be another animal. Maybe you have a companion that is a cat. You could have fish. You could have, I don't know, a bird. Maybe you have rats. I don't know. Somebody that you love, though, right? Somebody that is beloved to you. And so I see you with your loyal and devoted friend, okay, family member even. And I think that there's a sense of feeling whole in this dynamic, okay? I feel like this is a being that there is absolutely unconditional love. I often think, I don't know if I would still be here if I didn't have my cats, my companions. They have seen me through my darkest days. They've been here all along. They've always shown me love. They've been the reason that, before I had a family, it was just me and the cats. And sometimes they were the only reason I would get out of bed, right? I could have just stayed there and kind of wilted away in a lot of, emotionally, spiritually, and so on. But having these loving beings, it really it kept me going. And I think that's true of a lot of us, right? So often they're soulmates. They really are. And so often, they are a reason for us to live better, to do as well as we can, to share a good life with one another. And here we go. She's showing off now. She's like, okay, mom's just going to let me do whatever I want. I'm in good standing right now. So, yeah, I think that there is this, and this must be important. I mean, it's such a large and profound formation. So then please don't put your tail in there, my love. You're going to flip it over. Okay, so we have, and now it looks like a sled to me. We also have an eye right here. And I want to look. Okay, so from this position, if we just kind of block this out, we have a person who is on a horse. Okay, and you can see that. I don't know how to do that without getting, there we go, right there. So you can see that right here. And so let's see, we have a sled, we have a person on a horse, and we have the eyes. So I feel like there is a sense of, I'm getting ready for some movement. Now we have the star card, and it's like a different, if you look at the landscape of it, it always reminds me of the winters where I live. I live basically on the tundra for, 5 or 6 months a year, it feels like. We're way up in the north here. And although this year, not a lot of snow at all. But usually it's pretty cold. And so I imagine, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, it's like, getting your sled ready. You're going to go across the plains, across the wide open spaces. It's snowy, it's icy. You have this horse. It must be, what are those ones with the big, Clydesdale, like the big, strong ones. And, and I think, yes, moving towards this goal that you've had. And I feel like, in the last year, we had those real tower moments for Scorpio. And then trying to kind of get something going, a foundation. I really feel very intensely that there was maybe like a big move in your life, maybe a different home, a new city, new town, maybe even a new country or whatever, region of the country, maybe a new job, learning a lot of new things, getting comfortable in the place that you have, now come to call home. And, but it still does, it feels different. It's not exactly home yet, but you have this goal. You have a real desire to make this, the place that you want to stay, where you put down roots. And so I can see you coming out in even the coldest weather to get your horse together, get the harness on, get it hooked up to the sled, and go about your journey, begin this next task, this next, big goal that you have set up for yourself. And now this won't come quickly, but I do think that this is going to be something that, is it's very central to your living for the next period of time. This isn't something that you've just done on a whim. With the eye, I see you've been watching and preparing, making a plan, getting all of the things you need together to begin this process. And this is really that initial first push into it. And I really, I think that this could be like a business venture. This could be a new career. I really think that this has a lot to do with financial, whatever, gaining resources, work, creativity, whatever kind of services you provide. I don't know what it is exactly, but this is something that, because of the way that things have gone, and it feels like, the way your life was cruising, it just kind of abruptly, some of this really dissipated quickly. And it, it can leave you feeling really disenfranchised, but you have the wherewithal to really kind of pivot and be like, okay, we're going to do this other thing. I've always had this idea in my head, And now is the time, because I'm in between things, or I have this, this work I'm doing, but I'm not married to it. It is not the thing that I'm passionate about. I'm going to go ahead and try to really put my, heart into this endeavor that I have. And here we are, we're getting going. And let's see, we also have, we have an 8 right there. We have the 8. I know, I'm always looking for the numbers. We have an 8. We have a 7. We have a 7 right here. We also have a 7 right here. Now we do have fish. Okay, we have a fish here. We have a fish here. And one here. Probably more. Another one here. Okay, and then, we have 2 apples. Okay, so that's good. So we have the fish. The fish, to me, abundance. Now it's spread out everywhere. So, financial, emotional, your domestic life really becoming something that feels well put together. It feels lush and full and vibrant and really a home for you. Also, making the money coming in, starting to be able to, maybe save and invest or whatever you would do with the money that you're making. And I feel like whatever your core relationship is, if you are married, if you have a long-term person, a partner, if maybe you're by yourself, maybe you're single, but you have a good friend or a family member, or maybe this is even with yourself. You're getting into a place where things are really aligned and feeling alive, and there's a little bit of a cushion to not be worrying so much. So then it's manifesting in this love, dynamic, and this ability to really pay attention to that aspect. We know, like, when we get into a place where things are like chaos and trying to carve something out, get it together, get that foundation, solid, start to build from the ground up. The love is important, definitely. Do you always have time to indulge in it for very long? Maybe not, right? It doesn't mean that you don't love each other. It doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. It doesn't always take the highest priority. Okay. Now, is it important? Yes, it is. It is. But, if family and home and business or whatever, all these things, they're tiring. They're tiring. So, I see a time of a great kind of renaissance in your life of love and partnership. Now, if this is with yourself, this all can be true as well. Spending more time working on finding a way to really connect with yourself, to honor yourself, to feel very fulfilled within your time with yourself. And you might say, oh, well, I'm in my body, I'm with my consciousness, I'm always with myself. Well, yeah, okay. But sometimes it's like, we have the million things we're doing every day, and then we might have a little brief moment where we can do something, that really brings us into our passion, or we have time to sit and contemplate, go into ourselves. I'm always talking about active imagination, or even meditation, transcendental meditation. Some of these techniques, these are other things that can bring us greatly into ourself, right? So, you know, I think that the relationship aspect is there. It is coming to be more and more at the forefront once again. You know, I think it's just you've been in a season of, you know, many things, a lot of, you know, things that you're juggling, balancing, and trying to figure out. And as things come together, and like I said, there's a cushion there. It's feeling a little more comfortable. You are able to really kind of stop and be with your person, be with yourself, you know, enjoy each other. Okay, let's see. We have... It looks like Saturn. Immediately, I'm like, okay, is this Saturn? It looks like a tall person, right? Maybe with a beard. And now they're holding somebody who's kicking their legs. And then we have another person over here who maybe they're holding as well. And their arms are up. It looks like in kind of a fighting posture. So I immediately think of Saturn eating, you know, you've seen the art before, the motif, eating his children there. And, you know, I won't go into the mythology of it, but really that here we have kind of this brutality, this kind of ruthlessness to sustain self, right? And now I'm not saying you're going to, you know, go against your family or do anything in the literal sense, but I do think that there is a sense of really self-preservation kind of being the underlying motivator here, which obviously, we all have that. We all are trying to survive, right? So, you know, I really think that, you know, against all odds, in the mythology, he ends up being overthrown, but yeah, and maybe as I think really also it is kind of like a warning, like be mindful of what you choose to do. Like how far will you go, or what, you know, you have to think about the repercussions of some of the decision making, you know, and I just can't imagine, you know, a Scorpio person really dishonoring their family or their loved ones like that. But I think that sometimes, you know, when we're really trying to, you know, just figure it out, get it going, like just whatever it is, there's a sense of, you know, almost, it's not desperation, but it comes from the same kind of, you know, source really. And so, you know, I think that it's a slow down, you know, things are going to go as they do. There's no need to do anything rash, right? I'm looking at we have the semicolon here. So I'm also thinking it's like, with Saturn, we know there's melancholy, but there's also just a sense of just the deepest despair at times. You know, this is, if you think of the Saturn being aligned with the winter, okay, but also the sense of like famish and wasting away, and you know, these dark nights, right? Really trying to just not prepared fully and trying to make it through. But there is another part, right? There is the ability to get through. And we also have that apple, and I wanted to talk about that apple up there. the apple for me has to do with a like stabilized health. It's in this context, I don't think it's the physical health. I think that this really is where you have the patience, but also the ability to kind of traverse these, just sometimes it just seems so bleak, right? Like there's no move. It's not happening. You're stuck at an impasse. But to continue to, keep your convictions, to live by your virtue, to do the thing that you know is right for you, right? That is what is going to end up getting you through. And that is where you go from those dark winter nights of, not having enough to flourishing in the light. Okay. And I feel like this really is, this is the time, and it is coming, Don't buy into the easy way. Don't buy into the impulsive, or just this is gonna work. I'm gonna do this as soon as I can. It might devastate everything if it doesn't, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Don't buy into that path, okay? Because that's not gonna lead anywhere. But staying the course of what you can do and sustain, right? That you can live with. Your conscience. You knew what was right. You knew what was right for you, and you you did the hard thing. And sometimes it takes a lot longer, but it's what's going to lead you out into the sun, right? That solar energy. So, okay, let's see. What else do we have here? So we have an airplane. We have a little heart. My cat is over, my little TT is over there eating. I can hear her crunching away. And we have a scorpion kind of dancing around in those emotional waters. So, I think that you really, you're in your most Scorpio position here. I feel like as things go, I just feel your heart space just becoming so open, and it's almost like it's just soaring. You're just flying through. And it doesn't always look that. There's no promise of it. It doesn't always look like it's going to get there, but now I'm promising. No, but I really do think that this is coming in this next year. It really is. And I feel like you will end up in a place where it's like you have had to claw your way out of hell, right? But you did it. And not only did you do it, you built all of this for yourself. And nothing can compare to that feeling. Nobody can make you feel any less than amazing. I mean, you didn't win the jackpot. You created the jackpot for yourself. This is your big win. And I think it will only continue to get sweeter. But you just have to stay. You have to stay the course. You have to... Sometimes you have to take the longer way, right? No shortcuts. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Okay, let's see. The Mary Magdalene Oracle deck by Megan Watterson. Illustrations by Moonju. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to flip through these and we're just going to see what this has to say, how it kind of punctuates the reading. It says, the cave. Sanctuary exists within. Yeah, this is like where you go, these interior places in the inner temple where we go to check ourselves, right? Let's do one more. The fifth power. I am a body and a soul. It's kind of that real divine balance. Very in tune with yourself. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor, such a pleasure to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I love you. Take care of yourself. We will talk in just a few days.